End of Take is a strange one. It's the first of the more direct horror movie references that CodeEquestria will make. There are several, a lot of them actually, some of them mostly subtle, but there are a few episodes that act more directly in their horror movie references. This one makes reference to the Ridley Scott James Cameron sci-fi definer Alien, or more specifically, Aliens. This won't be the last time the Cameron movie has been referenced here, or Cameron himself, which in this case they do by way of James Fenton, a B-movie schlock movie director who's just so happened to have a screening plus a public appearance and speech at Caddick Academy. But it happens that he's not here just for that. He's here for work. He's looking for the next set for his next B-level movie. Fortunately, he finds it in the gang's factory. It's of the odd to play spy to keep the lab out from being found out, which would be the plan if he could get out of classes, which ultimately he does, thanks to Sissy, who manages to bribe her father into providing the time as well as herself. Miss Vane is trying to become a movie star and uses this as her easy way into showbiz. She'll find out that it's not that easy. On top of it, Xana decides to possess the alien costume used in the film. Now, as far as the alien costume goes, it's almost too creepily. Looks like a xenomorph from Alien. Oh, they got away with it? Probably because of the green shading it's used here rather than the traditional black. Plus, this thing doesn't use the walls or vents for getting around. It uses its hind legs and walks like a human being. But the alien sticky goo and the way that it uses itself as a tip off, even down to the camera tricks, are directly from the movie itself. These guys did their homework, not only to stay out of trouble, but to make reference to a movie, to this rather horrifying movie, in a safe, kid digestible way. This thing is filled with tension filled scares and even a few jump scares for those who like that. Alien is well done for a first time open horror reference. It won't be the last time. As far as outside the attacks, James Fenn is a jerk, even acquiescing the sissies want to be in a movie by being given a screen take. Oh boy. And here's the funny thing. She most certainly has the horror movie Scream. To make things even more complicated, the Oregon Sissy's phones have been confiscated, which leads to Oric using the lab's phone connection, which oddly gives him the historical reference of being the first one in the big chair that's not Jeremy himself. This won't be the last time, even this season, that somebody other than our favorite paranoid nerd is sitting in the seat. But it doesn't take long for things to start collapsing. Odds on to Lyoko in the ice sector and the first use of the ice slide. This episode uses several camera tricks, both in Lyoko and out. The first Lyokian trick is a first-person view of the ice slide, from Aelita's point of view. But it won't be the last time that a trick is used here. On top of it, several camera tricks are used to give the alien tension and fierceness as it's on the attack. Xana also gives the movie staff and Fenn himself a what for, and also manages to trap Yumi, who manages to make a soft save by using a military all-purpose knife in her pocket. But then, because it's Pick on Yumi week, she has to be trapped too, and nearly choked to death. Oh, on Midoric. Poor girl. As far as the Lyoko part of the episode goes, it's short and sweet, but not before more camera tricks and more trickery is used. Xana decides to use two towers. The trick Aelita for picking the wrong one, which of course naturally, because there's still 22 episodes to go, she doesn't. But in a neat little bit of tension, we're not shown what tower she chose, or shown which one is the correct one due to hornets rotating around the activated tower. But we're not shown the right one at any time. The camera is tilted in such a direction where you can't see how she turned. You can only assume. On top of that, we have a delayed light drop and the first use of a post-Lyoko code scene added in which you don't get the direct deactivation of the tower, but rather a scene of dialogue before a delayed screen drop. That's the screens in the background leading to the return to the past dropping out of the scene. This is the only indication that Aelita chose right, and it's a clever trick that I wish they would have used more. This episode is a 5 out of 6. A solid one at that. And Satellite will also be getting a 5 out of 6 as well. But I'll be recording that a later time. So what's your view on End of Take? Tell me down at the comment section below. And until that episode of Satellite, I'll see you next week. And peace in your own nirvana.